Can you trust that the vision, the work that you are trying to bring forth is already done? That you are just the steward, the conduit of what's already alive. And if you just trusted the process and nurtured the creation, then both you and it would be supported. And it could be so much easier than if you continued to force it. I recently had this message coming through from multiple angles, and it was so funny when it finally landed. The first thing was this video that you're seeing right now, where I was mowing some really tall grass on my family's land. And I had gotten started and remembered I needed to go get my water and set up the camera. So I stop, I do these things, and I come back and the mower won't start. It won't start again. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, I was on a roll. I just stepped away for a minute. And so I am trying to restart this mower for probably 20 minutes in the sun, sweating profusely, burning out. Okay? Completely overworking myself, draining myself, just trying to get started. And so I would pause a few times, like pick up sticks or things I saw in the grass in the yard, like give the mower a break, give myself a break, and come back and try it again. And I'm pulling the string on this mower, and I'm laughing in frustration and exhaustion. And I finally decide, okay, I'm going to fully step away for a bit. And I have a very limited window of time to get this yard work done, like about an hour and a half while my daughter is with my mother. So, I'm feeling a bit pressured, not rushed, but kind of, that I want to get this completed. I want to get it done. To my resistance, I take a break. I had to go sit on my porch, like take off my tall grass boots and my socks and really cool off. I poured some cool water and hydrated because I was getting like angry only because I was getting so hot physically, like really burning out. And as I was sitting there cooling off is when I started to chuckle at that term, where I thought about like I was in the setting sun at the heat of the day. It was just shining directly on me, which normally I love so much. But I wasn't in motion. I was just trying to start the mower. And that particular movement, that action, did not feel like this momentum, that if I was just like going and like actually in movement and feeling some air, some breeze, through it. Instead, I was just exerting myself with the same thing over and over and over again. And so as I was sitting and reflecting on this while I was cooling down, I just had to laugh because it's literal burnout from forcing something that wasn't working. And how often do we do that? How often do we keep repeating the same thing over and over, even though it's not working, just trying to force it? Like, willpower is amazing, but sometimes we really need to step away and get innovative. Maybe even tune in to like, what is being asked of me here? And reflecting on that while I was cooling off, I like giggled because I thought I needed to cool off to be able to think clearly again. And what if the mower just needed to cool off too? And now we can both be more effective and more efficient. So I decided I'm going to go clean out the inside of the mower. Like maybe it just needs to be refreshed like I did. So I take it to the water hose and spray it all out. Spray the top of it, spray underneath it. I hosed it all off and plugged it in and tried it. And lo and behold, it started. So I let it run with the water going inside of it, cleaning it out, cooling it off. I mean, it felt like a hallelujah moment. I was like, oh my goodness, I can continue now. But with that, I also really received that message of, can you trust the process? That even though you had to take a break, even though there was a need for pause, it was useful. You got refreshed. You came with a new approach. And now the work is still going to get done. It's fine. You have plenty of time because it's actually going to take less than you thought because you're rejuvenated now. But there was a process unfolding that I wasn't fully conscious of, that I was only co-creating. So in that collaboration, the other part, the universe, life, the mower, all of it was doing some stuff for me that I wasn't aware of. It was guiding me to be more ready so that when it was time to go, when it was time to really do the work, the stage was set for me to have that momentum. What wore me out most was just trying to start. But once I got started and got the momentum, it was a breeze. And so it was like all of this while I was mowing, me cooling off, me preparing the yard, picking up sticks and debris and all of this stuff that I didn't think was really that useful. It was, filler of the time, actually was part of the process. It was preparing me for the momentum. And it's taken me, I think, 2 weeks to record this message to go with that video because I was still digesting it, and I didn't realize that until today. And today I went to mow again, and I had overfilled the gas tank and flooded it so the mower wouldn't start. I thought, oh, here we go again. Another round of, the universe giving me some wisdom through this experience. But it was a continuance of what was coming through before, which was, you don't need to force it. There's other preparation. There's other things to be done before you get started. Here I am with the message a lot, it's integrated. I allowed it to integrate. I really had to chew on it though for 2 weeks. Like, I'm trusting the process, that I don't need to force getting started because maybe I already am started.